And good morning to your Honor. May it please the court. My name is Mohamad Irfan, counsel for the appellant Yaya. This case about a contract between the plaintiff Yaya and the defendants Maidon, where the defendants willing to accept plaintiff offer without any condition. This case is about Yaya and Maidon. Yaya went shopping at Maidon Sdn Bhd and wanted to buy VCD HarryPotter. The price tag is cost RM50. Suddenly, when Yaya wanted to pay at cashier, the price changed to RM45 and not RM50. Yaya instead that Maidon Sdn Bhd had to sell the VCD to her with RM50.
Assalamualaikum and hello to your honor. May it please to record. My name is Mohamad Haiqal bin Aziz, counsel for respondent defendant Maidon Sdn Bhd. And this is a case about an invitation to trade from Maidon Sdn Bhd to the plaintiff Yaya, where the plaintiff is not satisfied with the price tag that is displayed by the defendant, and they think this is a breach of condition, but actually there is an invitation to trade.
Your Honor, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the issue in this case is whether the contract between Yaya and Maidon is valid, void, or voidable because the display at the price of at the rack is not an offer. Related to the case, contract between Yaya and Maidon Sdn Bhd is valid because there is a condition that the goods correspond with the description. Based on section 15, Yaya and Maidon Sdn Bhd made a contract for VCD HarryPotter. There is an implied condition that VCD HarryPotter shall correspond with the description, and the price tag for VCD HarryPotter should RM50 instead RM45. It is not sufficient that tag price for VCD HarryPotter correspond with the price when Yaya wanted to pay for the VCD. According to Nogodas, Purshamumdas and Company V. Mitsui Busan Kaisha Ltd 1911, the VCD HarryPotter that been sold to Yaya did not correspond with the description.
Your honor, ladies and gentlemen of jury, this case is whether the contract between Yaya and Maidon Sdn Bhd is valid, void, or voidable because the display of the price at the rack is not an offer. Contract between Yaya and Maidon Sdn Bhd is void because there is not offer between them, and it's not an offer to make a contract. It is an invitation to trade. Invitation to trade is not listed in the Act of Contract 1950. It's a method for the seller to attract the customer to make an offer. Let me explain what is the invitation to trade. Meaning of invitation to trade is not a proposal but a sort of preliminary communication which is passes between the parties at the stage of negotiations and not capable of being turned into a contract. It invites the other party to make an offer. As a consequence, we can see that Maidon Sdn Bhd using an invitation to trade to Yaya, not only to Yaya but to all the customer. According to the Pharmaceutical Society Great Britain v. Bushcash Chemist Sultan Ltd cases, the defendant operated a rental self-service chemist. The customer took the items they required from the shelf, put them into the basket, and then took them to the cash desk. The pharmacist supervised the transactions at the cash desk. The issue was whether the sale was completed at the shelf when the goods were selected or at the cash desk. The provisions of the Pharmacy and Poisons Act 1933, Section 18 state that it was unlawful to sell certain drugs unless the sale is effected under the supervision of a registered pharmacist. The usual view has been that customers select the item they wish to purchase and then to take to the assistants who accept it and completes the contracts. I cannot see that this situation is any different. The plaintiff contend that defendant has offered to sell the goods by displaying them on the shelves, and that the plaintiff accept the offer by taking them from the shelf. If this correct, then a person replace the item if they see something which they would prefer more. It seems clear that the sales takes place at the cash register under the supervision of the pharmacist in conformity with the Act. Back to our case, plaintiff Yaya seemed that they not accepted the contract that been made by the Maidon Sdn Bhd, the defendant. Appropriately, Pharmaceutical Society Great Britain v. Boost Cash Chemist Sultans Ltd is an example case that we can relate to these cases.
As a good company, Maidon Sdn Bhd should sell the VCD according to the price tag at the display. In this case, the price is only RM50. So when Yaya was forced to pay more, this is very disappointed because at the mankind mistake, Yaya doesn't want to pay more because it is not her fault. As a consumer, we should stand for our right from not being cheating and get a good goods.
Your Honor, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the plaintiff must know that this method is implemented in a very business sector to attract the customer and is part of a marketing. Invitation to treat is a concept to invite the other party to make an offer. By this case, we can see the plaintiff is not accepted the offer. The contract is still void and not valid. About the descriptions in sections 15, Act sales of goods that been used by the plaintiff, and the price tags that shown is include terms and conditions, is shown that Maidon Sdn Bhd follows the rule under sections 15, and they already show there is have a terms and condition. What is a term and conditions that made by the Maidon Sdn Bhd? If the customer accepted the terms and conditions about the actual price that being informed at the cashier, and they accepted that mean contract is valid. But if they not accepted the terms and conditions, so there's no contract between them.
In conclusion, the contract between Yaya and Maidon is valid because there is implied condition that the goods correspond with the description. According to section 15, Yaya and Maidon Sdn Bhd made a contract for VCD HarryPotter. There is an implied condition that the VCD HarryPotter shall correspond with the description, and the price tag for VCD HarryPotter should Rm 15 ringgit instead Rm 45 ringgit. It is not sufficient. That price for VCD HarryPotter correspond with the price when Yaya wanted to pay for the VCD. Based on decision in the case Nagodas Pustomdas and CO V Mutsui Busan Cash Ltd 1911, the VCD HarryPotter that been sold to Yaya did not correspond with the description. So, based on section 15, the contract between Yaya and Maidon is valid because the VCD is correspond with the description and Yaya must pay only Rm 50 ringgit.
Concluding, defendant Maidon Sdn Bhd does not attempt to make an offer. Besides, is an invitation to trade. This method has been used around the world for the long time ago and is part of a marketing for them to attract the customer. We also can take an example from the Pharmaceutical Society Great Britain v. Bush Cash Chemist Sultan Ltd cases. The customer who are taking the goods from the chef must accept the terms and conditions of the goods to complete the contract. Every single goods that we buying from the seller is include the terms and condition of the goods. I reiterate, there is not an offer. This is an invitation to trade. The contract between Maidon Sdn Bhd and Yaya is void because we can see that plaintiff is failed to follow the terms and conditions of the contract. I'm appeal to the courts to review all the facts and evidence that proves my client is not committed any violations of law. Thank you.
Balik. Aku cakap ke?
Assalamualaikum and hello to your honor. May it please to the court. My name is Mohamad Haiqal bin Abdul Aziz, counsel for respondent. Majanga